Welcome to this tribute to one of country music's greatest pioneers, Ernest Tubb. Known as the Texas Troubadour, Tubb's distinctive honky-tonk style and heartfelt vocals made him one of the most popular and influential artists of his time. With a career spanning over 4 decades, Tubb helped to define the sound of country music in the 1940s, 50s, and 60s, and his influence can still be heard in the genre today. From his humble beginnings as a Texas sharecropper to his induction into the Country Music Hall of Fame, Tubb's life and career are a testament to the power of hard work, perseverance, and a love of music. So sit back, relax, and join us as we celebrate the life and legacy of Ernest Tubb.
Before we begin, please hit the like, subscribe, and notification bell so you don't miss a single one of our upcoming videos.
Ernest Tubb was born on February 9, 1914, on a cotton farm near the small town of Crisp, in Ellis County, Texas. He was the youngest of 5 children of Calvin Tubb, a sharecropper, and Ellen Tubb. Tubb's family was poor, and he grew up in a modest house without electricity or running water. The family's main source of income was farming, and Tubb spent much of his youth working on the farms of relatives and neighbors throughout the state. Despite the challenges of growing up in rural Texas during the early 20th century, Tubb's childhood was filled with music. His mother played the guitar and sang, and his father played the harmonica. Tubb was particularly inspired by the music of Jimmie Rodgers, whom he heard on the radio and on records. He began to teach himself to play the guitar and sing, and he spent many hours practicing and perfecting his craft. As a teenager, Tubb began performing at local gatherings and events, and he quickly gained a reputation as a talented musician. However, his family's financial situation meant that he had to work long hours on the farm, and he often had to put his music career on hold. Despite these obstacles, Tubb's love of music never waned, and he continued to practice and perform whenever he could. By the time he was 19, he had saved up enough money to buy his own guitar, and he began to pursue his dream of becoming a professional musician. This led him to his first job as a singer on San Antonio radio station Kono AM, where he began to develop his signature honky-tonk style. Although his early years were marked by poverty and hard work, Ernest Tubb's passion for music and his determination to succeed helped him to overcome these challenges and become one of the most successful and influential country music artists of his time. Ernest Tubb had a rocky start to his career. After unsuccessful attempts at recording his music, he had a tonsillectomy in 1939 that affected his singing style. Tubb then turned to songwriting until he switched to Decca Records in 1940 to try singing again. His 6th Decca release, the single Walking the Floor Over You, sold over 1 million copies and brought him to stardom. Tubb joined the Grand Ole Opry in 1943 and formed his band, the Texas Troubadours. They became a fixture on the radio show for 4 decades and hosted their own midnight jamboree radio show each Saturday night after the Opry. Tubb always surrounded himself with Nashville's best musicians, including Jerry Byrd, Tommy Butterball Page, and Billy Byrd, who brought jazzy riffs to the instrumental interludes. Owen Bradley, Tubb's producer, played piano on many of Tubb's recordings from the 1950s. Tubb wanted Bradley to sound like Moon Mullican, the honky-tonk piano great of that era. The classically trained Bradley tried but could not quite match the sound, so Tubb said Bradley was half as good as Moon. When Tubb called out Bradley's name at the start of one of the piano interludes, the singer always referred to him as Half Moon. In 1949, Tubb helped the Boogie Woogie Andrews Sisters cross over to the country charts by recording a cover of Eddie Arnold's Don't Rob Another Man's Castle and the western swing-flavored I'm Bitten My Fingernails and Thinking of You. Tubb was impressed by the Andrews Sisters' success and hoped to repeat that with his music. However, Tubb's vocal style was different from theirs, and they had to adjust to his singing, which often missed some notes. Tubb's off-key singing style was well known, and he even mocked his own singing. He joked that 95% of the men in bars would hear his music on the jukebox and say to their girlfriends, "I can sing better than him," and Tubb added they would be right. In 1957, Tubb had a shooting incident at the National Life Building in Nashville. He walked into the lobby in the early morning hours and fired a .357 Magnum intending to shoot music producer Jim Denny, but mistakenly shot at WSM News director, Bill Williams, as he was walking into work. Tubb's music inspired a legion of dedicated fans who continued to support him throughout his career, long after his hits had faded. Despite the decline in chart success, he remained a prominent figure at the Grand Ole Opry, performing there and hosting his Midnight Jamboree radio program at his record shop just a few blocks away. One notable release that showcased Tubb's enduring appeal was the 1979 album, The Legend and the Legacy, which featured a star-studded lineup of country singers on the Cachet Records label. Though the album went out of print soon after its release, it was reissued on CD in 1999 to mark its 20th anniversary, only to quickly go out of print again. Tubb also made an appearance as himself in Loretta Lynn's autobiographical film, Coal Miner's Daughter, in 1980, alongside Roy Acuff and Minnie Pearl. Despite his battle with emphysema, he continued to perform over 200 personal appearances each year, traveling with an oxygen tank on his bus. After each show, he made sure to greet every fan who wanted to meet him and sign autographs. However, Tubb's health struggles finally forced him to stop performing in 1982. His final appearance on the Grand Ole Opry took place on August 15, 1982. He passed away from emphysema on September 6, 1984, at the Baptist Hospital in Nashville, and was laid to rest at Nashville's Hermitage Memorial Gardens.